Hi everybody, I hope that we are well. I'm trying out a new videoing program today, which I'm a bit excited because you get to see what's on my desk, but you also get to see me. I thought that'd be quite nice sometimes to put a face behind, so I might be looking down quite a lot, but I'm still here with you. I just think it's quite nice just to feel like we are connecting. It also feels like I'm not just talking to my hands all the time. I can actually see another person. Well, I can't believe that we are on tag number 14 and we've made it to Easter. So I got really excited. I've been really excited about this one. You've got my little layout there of all these things that I am using as inspiration. So we've made it to Easter. Usually at Easter we spend quite a bit of time at the seaside, but we didn't want to book anything because we didn't know whether we'd be allowed or not. So I've decided that that was going to inspire my tag. So I would like a place or a location to inspire your tag. Seeing as though we're Easter, I was going to do something based on Easter, but I bought these threads. So it was a friend of mine, Wynne, that mentioned Natalie Stewart. She is a fibre artist and indie dyer based in the UK. She has a website which is nataliestewart.co.uk, but she has an Etsy shop which is Yarn and Fibre. And I don't need any more yarn, but I went on and she puts these amazing colour combinations together. I will put links to her Etsy shop and her website on the blurb that goes along with this video, but these are the colours that I got, and when I got them I just thought, oh, it just so reminds me of the seaside. So I went to one of my, I have loads of jars and dishes and things like that that are full of things I collect. I'm terrible. My work tends to link to walks that I've been on, things that I've collected, so I have jam jars up on my shelves of all the things that I've collected, and I have a dish of a load of things that we collected last year, February half term, which was the last holiday we went on with another family, and we went to a place in Wales called Shell Island and picked up all these amazing shells. So there's oyster shells, cockle shells, all sorts of different bits and pieces, some gorgeous pebbles. I've got mussel shells, so I've got these out as my inspiration. And then I've just got 3 bits of fabric. So I've got a piece of blue linen, I've got some dyed French fabric and a little bit of lace, and obviously my tag. Because what I'd like us to do for this one is we're going to do a tag with a pocket that's going to have something in it from somewhere that you've been. So I can't decide. I think I was going to use my pebble, but I think it's a little bit heavy, so I think I'm going to use my bit of my shell. So we're going to make a pocket that your little treasure from somewhere that you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go. And once we're allowed to get out and about and travel around a little bit freer than we have been able to do at the moment, just find something. It could be anything. It could be something from a previous visit. It could be somewhere that you would love to go, and just collect together a little bit of a flat lay. And I would love to see on Instagram or anywhere like that your photos of your little collection before you actually start. Okay, so let's make a start. Okay, so I've got my beautiful threads, cotton threads, and I've got my tag, and I've got my bits of fabric. So I was going to start with my blue as the background for my pocket. So you're going to want to cut yourself a piece of fabric that's a little bit longer than your tag, so that you're going to be able to do a fold up for your pocket. I was going to applique a pocket, but I just decided that I quite like the idea of just doing a fold up. If you want to make a pocket and applique it on, like usual, please feel free to do so. I'm going to put myself just a couple of little dots on there, just so that I sort of know where I'm going with my trimming. I'd normally use a fabric pen, but the one I've got is blue, which obviously then you're not going to see. Okie dokie. Right, so I've got my tag, I've got my length of fabric, so when that folds up, that's going to create my pocket that my little shell will be able just to pop inside. Okay, right, so we can think about now what we're going to do with our little pocket. So originally I was going to pop a bit of lace on the top. This is when my brain starts thinking. Quite like the idea of having a little bit of that. Ooh, you know me and my furry edges. I like my furry edges. So I think what I'm going to do is to make the top a little bit stronger and create a little bit of a fluffy edge. Keep yawning. I'm a little bit tired at the moment. I think because the weather's got a little bit nicer and we're beginning to function a little bit more. It's exhausting. Right, so yeah, I think I'm going to have that over the front, and then I'm just going to tuck it around. Just move my pins out of the way, it's alright. Just check that straight. It'll just mean then that the top of my pocket is just a little bit stronger. Hope everybody's well. Sorry, you've seen the top of my head. I quite like the idea though that I have got a face on my screen, even though it is my own. I'm not particularly chuffed that it is my own face, but it is just quite nice just to feel like that there's somebody there. Also, I quite like the lace on there as well, but I've got to remember I want to use all my threads. So it's whether I make the threads the star of the show. Maybe the lace is just a little bit too thick. Oh, now that edge in there is quite pretty. Oh, that's nice. This is a little bit of vintage lace and it's already got a fold over section. Oh my goodness me. Can't believe I'm yawning. I think it's actually stopping and having a little bit of time just to sit and do something else. Quite looking forward to having a bit of a break from everything. Okay, so, oh yeah, that's pretty. Pop that on there, so I've got the edge, and then I've left all my blue then. Then I can stitch away for England. Okay. Pop that on there. Oh, that's pretty. Now, because I was thinking actually when I was doing this, because the shells that I've got holes in, I did think actually that I could just stitch the shell onto the bit of fabric, but I do quite like the idea of it being inside. It's sort of like a little hidden treasure, but that's when you start looking at things you think that's quite nice on the top. Ooh, no, go with the original plan. Sorry, you got my brain thinking then. Don't know whether or not I need a little bit of that on the inside, so then that goes up. Ooh, quite like that, that's pretty. And then I can do lots and lots of stitching on here with my threads. Oh, you can hear my brain. My brain is a whirring. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. I like that little bit there. Or do I go spotty? So I quite like the spotty bit. Ooh, with just a little bit coming in. Oh yes, and then I can do French knots. Right, okay, decision made. I think that's one of the things as well that I can recommend is it's okay faffing, but at some point you have to make a decision. Faffing stops, stitching starts. That's very, very important. Coming up with lots and lots of different words. We've got faffing. If anyone's been to any of my talks, you'll know that I talk about me being a bit of a wobble gob. I'll not tell you what that means. You have to come to a talk if you want to find out. But I am a wobble bob. Oh yes, look at that. I love it. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. I've really filled the tag. Oh, love it. Right. Okay, threads. Let's thread it up. So we've got, ooh, there's a variegated thread there. Don't know whether or not you can, how well you can see that. Got a lovely variegated, but I just love these change of colours. Oh, they're just absolutely stunning. Okay. Let's get some thread. So I'm going to go with the darker blue first, I think. Some little scissors. Okay. So again, you're stitching. This could be how you want, totally and utterly. So to start off with, I just want to stitch down the bits that I've done. I'll wind these onto some cards at some point. Just get myself a length, not too long. Got a needle. Bit for it. Oh, that's one of those got some self threading needles from one of my friends, Natalie, and I can't get my head around using them. I'm just old school. Stick it in your mouth and then thread it through your needle. I have tried needle threaders, but I can't get them to work either. I think they're fine for machine threads, not so much slightly thicker threads. Okay. Right, here we go. I'm hoping this video is recording, seeing as though it's a new thing that I am doing, because this is going to be really, really annoying if I find out at the end it hasn't recorded. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to start off, because I know that that edge goes underneath the lace. Just going to do just a really teeny tiny little running stitch just to catch it down. So I know in my head I know I want to do some bullion knots on this one. And if you're talking about favourite places, what's your favourite stitch? What stitch do you really, really like using? Do you have a favourite thread? Maybe. Oh, you can see on the video the sun's just coming. I'm sat in here. It's a beautiful day outside, and I've got the blinds down. Just because the sun, I've changed the position of my desk in my room just to give me a little bit more space to fill it with stuff. Because I've done that, it's lovely actually, because I'm sitting looking outside the window, so I get to see all the plants and things. We do live on the edge of Brighouse. I'm in Rastrick, so we're not in the middle of the countryside, but actually where our house is positioned, just looking out the back, we've just got next door's garden behind us, and they've got quite a big garden, and we've ended up putting trees and things in, so it's like a little secret place. Okay, right, so a little running stitch just to attach that down, and I think I'll probably do one just going up and around the edge of that top bit of fabric, just so that I've got this all stitched together. Now there's loads of different ways that you can do a pocket. I'm just doing a fold up pocket. You could make a tiny pocket, so if you have a look back at some of the book videos, I did a couple of pockets there where we appliqued a pocket on. So again, whatever floats your boat. Okay, that's actually a bit further up than I'd planned, but anyway, It's all good. We don't worry about things being slightly different to what we'd planned, because we don't tend to plan anything. Just go with the flow. So I'm just going to move this first little line of stitching just down a bit, just so that I know that I'm definitely getting that front and back. So I'm doing a really tiny, let's try and bring the camera down a little bit. There we go. I'm just doing a really tiny running stitch just across the edge. Oh, you see now, because I've been talking, I've lost concentration. There we go. Okay, just move it back up again. It's not liking the focus on that. Okie dokie. I've been absolutely blown away by some of the tags, especially like some from some of the previous weeks as well. I think one of the ones that I've loved looking at was right back to week 8 with the bullions and French knots and things. I know quite a few of you struggled that week, but I have to say I was really impressed. Some of them were unbelievable. Particularly loved where it's really full of texture. I usually find that when I start seeing everybody else's, because you've had a bit of time to think about what you want to do, that I need to go back and do myself another set of tags. Because I've really loved seeing some of the ones where you've sort of followed the pattern of the fabric, or you've chosen a colour. Some people had even done it where they'd got a picture next to it that sort of inspired it. I'm sorry if you can hear a saw going off in the background. My hubby is outside doing his DIY and he's got the electric saw outside and it's just below my window, so if you can hear that, I'm ever so sorry. But he's having some fun fixing some of the decking outside. For those of you that know my hubby, he loves a project. So he'll be busy out there all day, which means then I can sit inside and sew, which is lovely. Mind you, here it is sort of getting up, not on my lunch yet, so we're up to lunchtime. So hopefully might get, well, depending on where we're up to with lockdown and everything. I know things are beginning to open back up again, so it's really tempting just to say, oh, do you know what, we'll have a day out and we'll go here or there, but you don't want to do things too quickly, especially seeing as though we've now had a whole year just about. Well, we have had a whole year not really doing anything. Sort of got used to not doing anything, which is a little bit sad, but I still want to stay as safe as I can, especially working in a school where you've got loads of kids here, there and everywhere. You do just want to make sure that you're being sensible. Okay, right, so we've got that bit stitched on. So again, I've just done the bit where I've just done it so everything's tacked on. I'm going to leave that needle in just for now. Okay, right, so we can then start playing around with what's going to go on the front of your pocket. It might be that you just want to applique something on. You might want to put some buttons on, anything like that. Okay, so double check you've got your bit on there. Now, seeing as though this is inspired by the seaside, I've just got this idea in my head, because I've got this range of colours going from the blue right up. I'd like to start, I'm going to start with the blue here at the bottom and go upwards, but I think I might have a go at maybe doing a little wave. I think that would be quite cute. Yeah, I think that could be quite cute. So we'll just work out where the bottom of my pocket's going to be. It's there. And then I'm just going to pop a pin in, just so that I know not to go below that. There we go, so that's where I know where I'm going. I think with my pen, I need to have a bit of a play. I've got to work out my little wave. So there's different ways that I could do a wave. So if I've got my little pocket, I could just do it like that. I think I fancy going round. Maybe round like that. Yeah. Because then I could have, well, I might start off with a circle actually. Okay, brain's working now. So a circle. Oh, actually, yeah, might keep it simple. Circle and out, and then I can do my other stitching around the edge. Okay, so we have a plan. Then you start thinking, ooh, circle, that could be a button. Okay, let's have a look. And I've just got some really teeny tiny buttons. Just trying to remember where they are. Teeny tiny things go in teeny tiny tins. So I've got some really little these are all different types. Oh, look at that, that's even, oh, look at that one, that's even teeny tinier. Oh, you see, I quite like them as well. Oh my god. They might have to go on the top there. See, it's always dangerous getting things out, because then you find other things and then you get a little bit carried away. So I've got some teeny tiny ones there, and then I've got some really teeny tinies, tiny little I'm not quite sure what these were used for. They're sort of linen covered, but if you can see the size of my thumbnail and how big they are really teeny tiny. And then I've got these gorgeous covered linen ones. Ooh, that I can paint. Ooh, that's what's really nice about linen covered buttons, is you can actually dye them. So I think I might have one of these, and then I might, oh yeah, so if I pop that on there, then I'll do my stitching up and around it. Or do I need a slightly bigger one? And then what I can do is just get, oh yeah, slightly bigger, and then I love those three tiny little buttons there. Oh, actually, but then they might be, oh right, okay. And shh, sorry, getting very excited. I'm very distracted with what's going on. Start with the wave. So I'm going to start with my circle, so then I can stitch up and around that, and then I'm going to build that up with my colours. And then when I come to playing around with this, I might have lots of little buttons. Oh, it's like the moon. It's like the sea and then the moon. Oh, it's just too exciting. Right, let's leave those there. Right, and focus. Okay, right, so I'm going to stitch that on first. I could do with cotton, because then, mind you, if I do use the same cotton, it'll be fine, because it's it'll be dyeable. Okay, right, so I'm just going to put a tiny little stitch in there, and then I'll start with my stitching around the edge. Look, my desk was very neat and tidy to start off with. and now it's not. That tends to be what always happens when I'm busy working. Right, so we've got our little button. Now obviously everybody's favourite places are going to be very different, so it's about how you want to interpret this. It could be, because I know quite a few of you out there are paper crafters, you might want to pop in a map of where you'd like to be, your favourite place, favourite location, if you could just go anywhere. Okay, so that's just been held in place, so I need to come up and round. Oh, I'm going to start coughing now, I need a drink. Okay. Again, if it's easier for you to pin this onto a bit of backing fabric and have it in a hoop, feel free to pop it in a little bit of backing fabric. I just quite like the tactile feel of the stitching and the fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on stitching around this. And even though I'm loving your company, it's not very exciting just sitting and watching somebody just stitching around the edge of something. So what I'll do is I will carry on stitching, and then I will come back a little bit later when I've got all these bits together, and we'll look at how to create our little foldy pocket and then finish it off and putting our treasure in. Okay, so that's where we're up to at the moment. Just getting a little bit excited about stuff. I'm just going to start stitching around the edge. I'm going to build up with my colours, so I'll do one layer of each colour going out and around. Probably change my mind about 6 or 7 times as well as to what I'm going to do next, and then I shall be back shortly with our finishing off of our tag number. See, I've forgotten the number already. I think, yep, number 14. Amazing. See you soon. Okay, right, so we're back again. What a lovely afternoon I've had stitching. So as you can see, I have created my little wave, put my buttons on, and I've started stitching down the lace on the back, just to accentuate all the tiny little dots that were in the lace. Really, really tiny. I've done lots of little French knots. So I've done a blanket stitch down one side, so I'm just about to do my blanket stitch down the other. So start your blanket stitch, just get your needle from the inside to the outside, and like always you're going to lay your thread in the direction that you're going. Go through your fabric, make sure the thread goes round the needle, and then pull to create your little rectangle. And then you're just going to carry on, so needle through, thread around your needle and pull it up, and then just keep going all the way down. I love doing this one this afternoon. It's given me an idea for next week's tag. So just like how I haven't planned these at all, it's just ideas. Sometimes it's people that have gone a bit off-piste with their tag that I've seen has given me ideas for another tag, and I'm just loving I suppose really the freedom, because it's not a massive piece of work like the book was, because they're really teeny tiny. You can just change your mind as you are going along, really. Okay, so again, just round your needle and then up. Obviously if you've made a separate pocket, you'll just applique that straight on. Go. But I've loved doing this one today. It's been so nice just to sit. Usually end up putting something on to listen to, while I'm working. Had a little bit of chocolate, bit of cheekiness, seeing as though it's Easter. I've not opened my Easter eggs yet. I actually insisted on getting an Easter egg this year. I don't normally get one. But we were buying both my girls their Easter eggs, so I just thought, you know what? I'm going to have an Easter egg as well myself this year. That won't last very long, I don't think. I always find eating chocolate and sewing is very therapeutic. A bit dangerous as well. It's definitely been dangerous this year. That's for sure. Okay. Right, so just going up that last little bit, and then I shall do a blanket stitch across the top. I think I'll have to have a look and make that decision. Let's get it just to the top. There we go. Yeah, I just think it needs something just to finish that top off. Okay, so I need to, that's gone over, come back down. That finishes that one off. Then take my needle back through, so I've got my thread up at the top, and then needle in, wrap your thread around, I always find sometimes certain stitches you just have to get going. That's probably not the neatest start to that. There we go, off and running. I think I find that sometimes with bullion knots is that when I first start doing them, if I've not done them for quite a while, I just have to really think about where my needle's going. But once you get going, it's just quite quick. It's just getting back into that rhythm and routine. Okay, nearly there. Okay, last couple. So I can't wait to see where your tag takes you this week. And you never know, at some point this year we'll hopefully get over to the seaside. Okay, that's the last stitch. Neaten it off. Fasten it up at the back, and then we're ready to attach it to our tag, or to your book, or to whatever it is you've decided that you're making this year. Even though the idea wasn't really to make something. Oh, look at that. So cute. Right, so need one more thread. I'll undo it. I might be pushing it a bit much with that. I might go for a darker blue again. Quite like the thread standing out sometimes on the back. There we go. Okay. Right, slightly thicker needle for this. That's a bit stronger to go through the card. There we go. Right, where's my tin with all my bits in? Oh. my fixing tin to keep it all together so I know exactly where it is. So slap a bit of glue in the middle. Just find this just helps just hold everything in place. Line that up with the bottom. Oh, I'm going to put it on the wrong side. Yeah, because my date goes on the back. Right, somewhere I've got spare tags. Right, we'll just get a spare one off this. See, that's me just not concentrating today. Got a bit too excited about that. Right, let's put some glue. Put that off. Pop that on. 14. 2nd of April. I always check as well with my stamp. Yep, that I am doing it the right way around. There we go. Right, needle. Okay, so again, just nip it in from the fabric just to hide your knot. Just poke a hole through, just makes it a little bit easier. Right, because we've got a pocket where you're going to be lifting that up, I'm going to do an extra stitch on this one. Oh, it helps if you go back down now, just to help it just have a little bit more strength, because what you don't want is to do all the pocket and then for it to have a little bit of a weak spot. So I'm going to do 3 stab stitches. So I'm a bit excited about what I'm going to do next week. Oh, it's going to be a very simple stitch next week, but hopefully if it works it'll be really effective. Something that we did do in the book that I absolutely love doing, and at the time really enjoyed how effective it was. Right, let's have a look. So I'm keeping it fairly even. There we go. And obviously you've got the back. I know some people are writing things on, other people aren't. Might even be that you end up doing 2 tags. You could do a front and a back. I know quite a few people have done a couple of tags. I know some of you have done 2 different colourways, and you're actually ending up with 2 sets of tags, which is awesome. Right, that can go away. Trim that off. So I've got my pen. I have a pen. So memories from Shell Island. Sorry, I've disappeared. And I got it in February 2020. Before the world went mad. I will go back and create new memories. soon as I can. Okay, so we've got our tag on and in it goes. There. So there's our tag number 14, based on some memory or a place or something, and a pocket. As usual, I'll put on some photographs of close-ups so that you can see it. And happy tag making, and I'll see you soon.